Welcome to This Explainer. If you've ever felt the squeeze of an economic recession or tightening markets, you absolutely know the pressure to tighten the belt. But here's the stark reality we're unpacking today. When things get really tough, standard cost control just isn't enough to keep the doors open. We have to go deeper. We have to fundamentally rethink how an organization actually operates. So, let's jump right into this essential survival guide on strategies for cost reduction and operational efficiency.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're looking at 4 practical tools. 1. Cost control versus cost reduction. 2. Maximizing your product's value. 3. Streamlining operations. And 4. The power of cost audits. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1, cost control versus cost reduction.
Waiting for a crisis to hit is honestly just a terrible business strategy. So I want you to ask yourself right now, is your business just controlling costs or are you actually reducing them? I know, it sounds like pure corporate jargon, but honestly, it's the difference between a company that just treads water and one that actually survives a massive downturn. Let's break down how these two stack up.
Okay, so there is a clear line in the sand here. Cost control is really about keeping your actual spending in line with a set target. Kind of like sticking to a weekly grocery budget, right? It uses things like standard costing and budgets. It's basically asking, hey, did we stay within our limits? But cost reduction, that is a whole different ballgame. That's about finding permanent savings without ever impairing the quality of your product or operations. Cost control alone won't save you in a recession. Permanent cost reduction is literally the mandatory first tool in our survival kit.
So where do you actually apply this? Well, the absolute best time is right at the beginning, at the product design stage. You can look into using cheaper materials that still meet your strict specs, trimming down your lead times, rigidly controlling overtime, or just making sure you are utilizing your full production capacity. And here is a vital takeaway from the source material. Planned reduction is vastly superior to panicked, unplanned crash programs. We're talking about calculated strategy here, not just blindly slashing budgets or reacting with sudden staff layoffs.
Moving right along to Section 2, maximizing your product's value.
Now, you might be wondering, how do we actually lower costs without ruining the quality and satisfaction our customers expect? Well, it all comes down to a golden rule of product management. Value equals the function for customer satisfaction divided by the cost of that function. It's a super simple ratio, but it completely flips how you look at a product. Value goes up in only one of 2 ways. Either you drop the cost or you increase the function's ability to satisfy a customer's need. Keep that formula in the back of your mind because it's the engine for this next concept.
Enter value engineering. This is basically an organized approach to identifying and just eliminating unnecessary costs. What is an unnecessary cost? It's literally any cost that does absolutely nothing for the customer. It doesn't add to the use, the life, the quality, or the look of the product. Like, imagine you manufacture a standard coffee maker. If you're paying extra for this heavy-duty internal metal bracket that a customer never even sees, and a cheaper, durable plastic one does the exact same job for the life of the machine, that metal bracket is an unnecessary cost. Value engineering slices away that useless fat to actually enhance the customer experience while simultaneously dropping your expenses.
But how is it actually done in the real world? It's done through a systematic, team-based work plan called value analysis, and it follows 6 precise steps. You kick off with orientation and gathering exact information. Then you move into analysis, followed by a dedicated phase purely for innovation and creativity to find new solutions. Finally, you evaluate, implement, and monitor. The secret sauce here is precision. You can't just rely on generalizations or guesses. You need hard data and a dedicated team to systematically scrutinize every single component.
Okay, pivoting now to Section 3, streamlining your business operations.
So, shifting our focus from the products we make to the people and processes actually making them, we rely on a concept called organization and methods, or O&M. This was pioneered by early scientific management figures like Taylor and Gilbreth, and it's basically the systematic examination of business activities to improve how we use human and material resources. Now, you probably won't see an O&M department in a modern company today. Instead, this essential consultative service operates under newer names like business process reengineering, project management, or it's even just rolled into the IT department. But the core goal is exactly the same: bringing a fresh, objective outlook to stagnant processes.
And why is that outside perspective so absolutely crucial? Because line management and the staff doing the daily grind rarely have the time, or the objective distance, honestly, to spot obvious improvement opportunities. They're just too close to the work. That's why O&M follows these sequential steps. First, select the process that needs attention. Then, accurately record and examine the current situation. Develop alternative solutions. implement the absolute best one, and finally, monitor it. It's a calculated intervention to rescue a process from its own routine.
Drilling down a bit further into how work actually gets done, we have work study, which is split into two really fascinating halves, method study and work measurement. Let's cut through the corporate jargon here. Method study is the qualitative side. It's figuring out an easier, more effective, and cheaper way to do the work. Work measurement is the quantitative side. It's literally timing how long it takes a qualified worker to complete that specific assignment at a specified performance level. So you figure out the best way to do the work, and then you figure out exactly how long that work should take.
Which brings us to our final stop, Section 4, the power of cost audits.
We've reduced costs, engineered better value, streamlined our workflows, but how do we guarantee these new standards actually stick? We turn to the ultimate diagnostic tool. Now, most of us know what a financial audit is. It's that statutory, legally required external check of past records. Essentially, it's a financial postmortem. A cost audit, though, that is a living, breathing process. It's continuous, non-statutory, and focuses purely on your current operations. It is an ongoing, real-time check to ensure your operational performance and cost structures actually reflect reality.
And within this ongoing process, cost audits generally take two forms: efficiency audits and propriety audits. An efficiency audit is exactly what it sounds like. It checks operational execution. Are the plans being carried out efficiently? Are resources properly utilized? A propriety audit, on the other hand, focuses way up at the executive level. It checks the integrity of management's decisions. Are they making the right financing choices? Have they set up proper controls? Together, they ensure the entire machine is running flawlessly.
So what does a cost audit actually look for in practice? Well, a reliable program scrutinizes granular details across the whole organization. An auditor will check your procedures for selecting suppliers, test the reliability of how you classify materials, and even look at the physical security of your stores. They'll analyze if your estimates for normal operational losses are accurate and verify that your quality control testing is up to par. This program has to be continuously updated, leaving absolutely nowhere for inefficiencies to hide.
We've covered a ton of ground today, from value engineering to relentless auditing. But here's the final provocative question I want to leave you with, drawn straight from the source's own quiz. What is the process of ascertaining whether every aspect of the business is managed in the most cost-effective way? It's the cost audit. So, when you log off today and look at your own company's operations, are you seeing systems built for comfort or systems built for survival? The tools for permanent cost reduction are in your hands now. The real question is, do you have the courage to audit your own inefficiencies before the market does it for you? Thanks for exploring this explainer with me today.